Commander. 5 pages, inbound asterisk chapter 1. Underscore truth overcomes all bonds underscore underscore from the ploy of leaders lips mouth underscore. Page 1 truth has a sound. On a cold morning at the University of Maryland, it sounded like a lieutenant colonel's dress shoes on concrete. My best friend David P., Ukrainian family steel in his spine, stood at attention while his father wore the uniform for him. LTC, reservist, pride barely contained behind military bearing. I was there. We both came up through ROTC. Different paths, same oath. David P. was commissioned that day with the highest honor they give, Distinguished Graduate. The Air Force saw what I saw. A mind that cut through crapola and a heart that wouldn't bend. They selected him for the Judge Advocate Corps. If you know JAG, you know what that means. 3 years of law school to learn how truth holds up in a courtroom when everything else is theater. He started at Southwestern, finished at Pepperdine. But I remember the flight. I flew with his father out of Andrews Air Force Base. Probably a VC, 137 back then, 707 airframe, multiple souls on board, all of us strapped into something bigger than ourselves. We touched down at LA Air Force Station. Later they'd rename it Wanazuka AFS, for Ellison Onizuka. He was on underscore Challenger underscore when it blew up. We didn't know that yet. That flight was a bond. Friendship. Service. Fathers and sons and the weight of a uniform. It was truth you could feel in the landing gear. But bonds break. And when they do, you find out what truth is made of. Page 2 asterisk 28 January 1986. U.S. Naval Observatory. I was aide-de-camp to the director of the Defense Mapping Agency. I was also HQ-DMA's top secret control officer, TSCO. That meant I held the keys to the secrets that kept the maps honest. DMA's job was simple. Make sure the map matches the ground. No lies in the terrain. No deception in the coordinates. If DMA got it wrong, bombs missed, ships ran aground, men died lost. I shouldn't have had a TV in my office. But I did. Small black and white, rabbit ears. I turned it on for the launch. STS-51L, underscore Challenger underscore. SRT-8. On the manifest was TDRS-SB, Tracking and Data Relay Satellite. The whole point of TDRSS was to overcome a bond, line of sight. Before TDRSS, you could only talk to a spacecraft when it passed over a ground station. 10 minutes at a time. Blackout zones. Gaps in truth. TDRS-SB was supposed to fix that. Put the truth in orbit so it could see everything all the time. Underscore Veritas Omnia Vincula Vincit underscore. Truth overcomes all bonds. Bolted into a satellite bus. 73 seconds in, the bond broke. I watched it on that tiny TV. Watched 7 souls become light and physics. Watched TDRS-SB die with them. The satellite that was supposed to carry global truth burned up over the Atlantic. In that moment, 3 bonds snapped at once. The physical bond of the solid rocket booster. The comms bond TDRSS was meant to guarantee. And the bond between what the nation believed and what was actually true. My job as TSCO was to control secrets. But my duty as an intel officer was to find the truth in the wreckage. While the networks ran speculation and the nation grieved, we had to answer one question. Underscore what really happened. No crapola. No cover story. The map had to match the ground, even when the ground was debris fields off Florida. That's when I learned what underscore Veritas Omnia Vincula Vincit underscore really means. It isn't a motto you hang on a wall. It's a blade you pull when everything else fails. Task Force Orange lives by it because before Delta or SEAL Team 6 kicks a door, Orange has to find and fix the truth. No truth, no target. No target. Good men die for nothing. Underscore Challenger underscore taught me the same lesson from a desk at USNO. Truth isn't clean. It comes with smoke, with silence, with 7 empty chairs. But it's the only thing that cuts through. Page 3 asterisk truth doesn't stay in the SCIF. It follows you home. Asterisk years later I was an assistant professor, tenure track at Fort Hays State, Department of Leadership Studies. I went there because they said they were on the frontier of leadership scholarship. Their mission statement quoted Joseph Roth's 1991 Post-Industrial Concept, PIC. Leadership is not the work of a single person. Rather, it can be explained and defined as a collaborative endeavor among group members. Therefore, the essence of leadership is not the leader, but the relationship. Provost Larry Gould said the same in his 2001 paper to the Kansas Board of Regents. The doctrine was clear: post-industrial, collaborative, truth over ego. I was a student of Rost from 1994 to 97. I knew PIC. I lived it. So when they hired me to fine-tune the department's usage of PIC, I thought I was home. I was wrong. The brochure on my desk said _the making of leaders. Not relationships not collaboration leaders singular. Industrial school. Great man theory with a new paint job. The mission statement said one thing. The practice said another. That's a bond, too. A bond made of paperwork, funding, reputation, and 30-plus Chinese students who were off the books. You don't hide students in the light of day, unless the whole department is in on the lie. That's not leadership. That's a cover story. The department chair who hired me? He wrote that cover story to the Voss Distinguished Professor chair. The lips moved. The truth didn't. Page 4 * leader's lips mouth. They can ploy just as well as any adversary. It came to a head in a September staff meeting. Another faculty member turned on me. I will fight you. He said. Not metaphor. Not debate. A threat, in front of the room, for several minutes. The chair sat there. Said nothing. Did nothing. I was accused of coming to Fort Hays to destroy everything he had built. I wasn't there to destroy. I was there to align the department with its own mission statement. With Rost. With the truth they printed but wouldn't practice. Then I found out that same faculty member sat on my tenure committee. The one who threatened me would decide if I stayed. * ploys of intimidation. Bonds of institutional self-protection. Leaders' lips saying PIC while their hands built a fortress around the industrial model. So I did what Kernsey would do. What Orange does. What TSCOs do when the map doesn't match the ground. I cut the bond. 16 December 2005. I tendered my resignation to Provost Gould, effective immediately. I cited Rost. I cited the mission statement. I cited the brochure. I documented the incongruity. I named the threat. I noted the conflict of interest. I also thanked them for the students. In 12-plus years of teaching, plus military and government service, I'd never met a better crop of young scholars. I thank geosciences, justice studies, political science, sociology, social work, graphic arts. I thank them for Times Talk Leaderville, the Leadership Lecture Series, Veterans Day. * truth doesn't require you to burn the village. It requires you to refuse to live in the lie. * I walked. He kept his Voss chair. I suspect maybe he won his fight. But I kept my honor. And I kept my copy of Rost. Page 5 * 3 theaters. 1 war. * 1. The Bond of Brotherhood, David P. Commissioning Wanazuka. Truth as loyalty, as merit, as a flight into a name that would mean sacrifice. 2. The Bond of National Grief. USNO TSCO _Challenger _SRT8, TDRSSB. Truth as duty when the satellite falls and the map has to be redrawn in real time. 3. The Bond of Institutional Lies, Fort Hays State. Truth as refusal when leaders' lips mouth say PIC but build a kingdom. * Different bonds. Same claymore. * Veritas omnia vincula vincit. The Intelligence Support Activity, Task Force Orange, carries it on their crest because they go in first. Before Tier 1 can strike, Orange has to find and fix the truth. Kernsey lived it. EVC in 83. SV 91 in 88. Training Delta and SEAL Team 6 in escape, evasion, resistance, interrogation. His doctrine: bonds will hold you. Fear, cold captivity lies, unless you have the tools and the truth to cut them. I'm not Orange. I was firefighter, EMT SEER, 1 geophysicist, intel officer, TSCO, assistant prof. But the principle holds from the battle space to the classroom to the news cycle you saw on the light rail in Canberra. The ploy of leaders' lips isn't a manual for deception. It's reconnaissance on deception. It's how you spot the ploy, name the bond, and swing the claymore of truth. Because bonds are everywhere. Gravity, grief, grants, tenure, 30 students off the books, a distinguished chair won on a cover story, a satellite that never made orbit. Asterisk truth overcomes all of them, but only if you pick it up and use it. Asterisk that's why this is chapter 1. Before we talk about lips, we talk about the blade. Before we map the ploys, we calibrate the compass. David P. still practices JAG. Onizuka's name is still on that gate at Wanazuka. TDRSSB is still on the bottom of the Atlantic. And I still have Ross PIC on my shelf. The bonds broke. The truth remains. Asterisk end chapter 1.